Hello. Whoa. Hello. Welcome to Verbling. Hi, I'm Teacher Oakley, and for the next hour, we are going to work together to solve the world's problems. In the case of this class, we're going to discuss and debate. We're going to talk about children working. Lots of questions here. How young or how old do children need to be before they should be allowed to work? What are the laws in your country? Um, what about entertainers? Heaven knows there are child entertainers, Chinese acrobats, and American beauty pageant winners who are 6 years old. These types of things. Is this morally or ethically okay? Is it okay to let children work if they want to work? What laws or protections should be in place for children? Okay. First of all, welcome Heidi. Hello, hello.
Hello, nice to see you again.
Hello, nice to see you. Hello again, Julio.
Hey, teacher.
Hey, hey. Uh, Julio, think back, if you will. Think back. When did you first start working, doing anything to make money? I mean, for example, when I was a kid, I could not wait to make money. I was dragging around golf clubs as a caddy when I was 11, maybe. I started working as early as physically possible. As soon as somebody would let me do something for money, I did it. Gardening work, mowing the lawn when I was 12, 13. I had a bunch of lawns I mowed. Whatever, scrambling. Scrambling to make money, whatever it took. I started my first full-time job when I was actually 14, which is actually illegal, but I did anyway. When did you start working? Or how did you make money? Tell me a little about it.
I started working when I was 21 years old.
Nice.
Yeah, I started working in a Walmart,
Really?
and yeah, it was the worst job ever in the world. And Walmart, it's an evil company that tries to disguise itself with a happy face.
Uh-huh.
Um,
Okay. Uh-huh.
and I was a cashier, and they completely exploited me because I needed to work like 8 hours, which is insane. and, and the salary was terribly low. They just paid me like less than $1 per hour.
Uh-huh.
So, and
Yeah.
they are always bombarding you with this idea that you have to be nice, even if you feel miserable inside. You
Yeah.
have to show a big wide smile and
Yeah.
show your teeth to all your employees and tell them, did you find anything you were looking for? Is there anything else I can do for you? Would you like to um, I'll tell them the special offers that you have or the things that
Mm,
you have on sale? And they
right.
just were rude to me, and my self-esteem actually decreased. When my friends saw me working there, I feel so embarrassed that I wanted to die.
Okay. Decreased. Your self-esteem
Decreased,
decreased. Okay.
decreased.
Well, that's a sad story. And my first comment I can think of is one happy thing about the Philippines. There are no Walmarts. Zero. They pretty much banned them. They don't exist here. Hooray.
That's a great idea. Yeah.
Yeah, well, they don't exist here for all the wrong reasons. There are very wealthy, powerful men that own two or three huge chains of malls here, and they don't want the competition, and they're extremely powerful. So believe me, if Mr. Tan says that there's not going to be any Walmarts, there's not going to be any Walmarts. But that's good. I don't have to deal with Walmart.
Well, they keep the money local. Because
Yeah, but
Walmart, they are just, yeah,
they
they're
don't.
just,
No.
they don't. Oh.
Walmart? No, Walmart.
No, I mean,
Ah,
yeah,
the
Walmart, no.
malls here.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, no, the malls here pretty much keep the money local, I guess. Yeah. They're local owners, in other words. Yeah. Uh, right. Good point. Heidi, where did you go? Come back. Um, in any case, well, Walmart, as far as Walmart, yeah, I understand your point. Definitely. I'm glad we don't have any. Even in the United States, I was one of few people who actively boycotted Walmart. I did not go there intentionally on purpose. I went there a few times when they were new, and then I never went. I didn't go there again for many, many years.
Yeah, I've heard a lot about boycotting Walmart United States. People are not happy with Walmart. I
Hmm.
really don't know why. I mean, at least I can tell in Mexico, I think that Walmart has taken uh, the money away from local corner store owners. Now
Yes.
they cannot compete with their prices, so they are forced to close,
Yeah.
and that's a shame. And it seems like there is nothing that we can do about it. They are just spreading like the chicken pox.
Yeah. Unless actual governments impose restrictions, which they did in the Philippines, there are no Walmarts here. They're not allowed. Ha ha. Uh, which is great. And you're right. There's a lot of that, but that's a debate for another day. Maybe we'll do that one later this week. Actually, that's a good one for
Okay.
another day. Uh, but our debate today is actually I want to get back on topic. Children and working children. You did not work till you were finished school, I guess, and you were 21. Cool. You,
Yeah, I was still studying. I was in
all right.
college.
All right. You're, all right. Um, okay. Student worker, fine. But you didn't try to make money, whatever, doing whatever stupid things kids can do, selling lemonade beside the road or selling your marble collection to your friend or collecting bottles to return for money. You didn't
All
do
I did
any of that
was
stuff?
a very spoiled kid. So whenever
Mm.
I wanted something, just I asked my parents, and they would provide it.
Nice.
And I did went once to ask for a job. I remember that a neighbor here put like a banner outside his house asking for a chamaco. That's how they call kids in Mexico. So he was specifically looking for a boy. Like he said, under 12. So I was curious and I went to ask, and he wanted me to. He had this business about plastic containers, like
Okay.
cups or bags and stuff. He wanted me to take all his plastic products and go to different businesses here in my town, and he wanted me to offer them to buy the plastic containers. And he didn't pay any salary. I was just gonna work for tips. So if they wanted to tip me, that would be my payment. So that
Okay.
it immediately. I mean, I wasn't really smart back then, but it immediately sounded like a terrible idea.
Yeah. Well, when I was a kid, I was caddying. Do you know what that means?
Nice, nice. Yeah, it's in the
Yeah.
the golf
Right.
club, right?
That's right. You carry the golf clubs around for 18 holes. So obviously it's quite a bit of work. It takes 3 or 4 hours. So 3 or 4 hours of work, and they would pay like $6 or $7. But we're stupid kids. There was no hourly wage. We weren't actually working for the country club. We were just working for tips, as you said. So
And what's the name of the place where you play golf? It's like the golf field
golf
or
course.
golf course.
Yeah, a golf course. Yeah,
Hmm.
right. Or sometimes in a, I guess, more informal sort of way, slang kind of way, the links. In general, talking about golf courses in general, we're going to go to the links next weekend.
Why
Okay.
the links? What does it have to do
I
with golf?
well, I'm not sure. I vaguely sure because each hole is linked to another hole. Um, that's what it's called. You know, you finish one hole, you put the ball in the hole, and then you there's a short link to the tee off on the next hole. So those short little walkways and stuff you take, those are called links. Oh, you take the link
Okay.
to the next hole. So the links, the whole group of them, because each hole is linked to another. Is I guess the idea. Anywho, okay. What are the actual child labor laws in Mexico?
Well, it depends from state to state. At
Hmm.
least in my state, it's
Oh, really?
legal to work if you are 16 years old, and and that without the consentment of your parents. And you can work if you are 14 years old, you can work, but it has to be under the consentment of your parents.
Hmm.
So,
Okay.
but well, actually, the government is not doing anything to prevent child or illegal child labor.
Hmm.
Because you can, if you come to Mexico, the first thing that you're gonna notice is that in every single uh, like stop, you can find a bunch of little kids running around with small packages of gum and selling them to all the cars that are stopped waiting for the green light.
Hmm.
And you are going to find 1,000 children begging for money in the streets, and there's nothing that the government is doing to eradicate this exploitation,
Hmm.
which I'm not sure if it's actually an exploitation. At the end, if they don't get the money to their parents, they are just going to die of starvation. So I guess it's just a necessity
Well, that's the
here.
debate, I guess. Yeah, I guess that's the debate. Well, in the United States, the law is 15 with parental permission, you're allowed to work, or 16, as you said, same, you're allowed to work on your own. But um kids work, but they do kid things like lawn work, rake the leaves in the fall, that kind of thing, um, gardening or something, you know, things like that, mowing the lawns, caddying, a good example. They do stuff like that. Oh, classic, kids in the United States will deliver the newspaper. That's like a iconic child's job, it's the one
Is
everybody
that still
knows.
going on nowadays?
Well, the funny thing is, the ironic thing is that is like an icon of Americana, that the child on his bicycle with his bag throwing the newspaper, wildly at the house. But okay, it's an iconic picture of Americana. But in reality, now mostly people who are desperate for money Mostly adults do it. They take the job. Really?
The Mexicans did it. The Mexicans are mowing the lawns right now.
Yeah. Well. Yeah. Yeah. Well, because the economy's not that great, so yeah, first person people squeezed out of the market are children, of course. Sad but true. Mm, very funny. I actually did that for a short while as a part-time job. I delivered newspapers as an adult. Uh, it just worked out to where I had to be at work at a certain time, and I could, from my house to where I had to go, I could pick up the newspapers, kind of make a winding route to work, deliver the papers, and it would just take me, 45 minutes, and I was going to work anyway, so why not? And
How
yeah,
many papers did you have to deliver?
wow, the number 45 jumps into my mind. Somewhere like that's probably
Wait,
what it is. It was a long time ago, but I think that's probably right.
and do they pay you for, well, usually in this kind of jobs, do they pay you for paper? Do you have a salary or,
The newspaper company paid me.
yeah.
Yeah. Uh, yeah. And somehow, one way or the other, I would always end up with free newspapers too, which is another benefit. Well, no, because somebody would they could tell the newspaper that they didn't want papers delivered, in which case the newspaper wasn't supposed to put them in my bundle. Um, but they often did. Or you would see mail piled up. Uh-oh, they're
Mm.
not home. Well, no point in leaving the newspaper. They're obviously not here. I'll just keep it. What are they going to do? Yeah.
Well, yeah, well, yeah, it sounds kind of just I don't see the use of having a bunch of newspapers. Maybe just for wrapping things.
Yeah. Well, I got to read the newspaper every day. In the United States as well, they recycle newspapers, which is really easy to recycle them. So, no big deal. Anyway, getting to the point about the laws and regulations, and do the laws make sense? In the United States, it's 15, 16, and I'd say maybe half of people in high school age get a part-time job. Um, I had a full-time job. That's highly unusual.
Okay.
Not normal, but I'm not normal. And I'd say about half half the people do, half the students do. And that's fine at 15, 16, and kids who want to, not because they're starving, but they want to sell lemonade, or nobody cares if children are selling lemonade or a 9-year-old is delivering newspapers. Even though that's, I guess, by the letter of the law, it's against the law. I guess parents probably have to sign something that it's okay, but no one really cares about that. Obviously the kid is trying to make money for himself, not so he doesn't starve to death, obviously. On the other hand, in the Philippines, yeah, you see lots of children working. Definitely. As you said, selling gum, selling peanuts. They have little bags of peanuts or quail eggs, boiled eggs, little tiny 5 quail eggs for 10 peso, like a quarter. Bar snacks. Basically, you see these little kids touring the bars
Yeah.
because it's hot here, and all bars here are open to the street. All right, so you can watch what's going on the street. Okay, so kids just wander in and out all day long, all the time, especially at night, and sell
Yeah,
snacks.
that's kind of dangerous, isn't it? Like just kids like in the in a bar at night selling peanuts with all those pedophiles and crazy people
Well,
out there. It's like,
yes and no. I mean, these are highly public areas. They're not, you know, there's no way somebody could just grab a child and walk away with them. It would be very obvious to the other patrons, the bartender, people on the street. These are busy streets. So,
well, here in Mexico, the rumor has it that children disappear from the streets every day, especially these
yeah.
little children. Many of them comes from the countryside, so they don't even speak Spanish. They speak like their mother tongue, which is like Nahuatl or something like that.
Hmm.
And there has been rumors of abductions here in Mexico, but nobody does anything about it. Not even our social um, service that we have here in Mexico, that we call it DIF, and it seems like nobody cares. It's like,
Hmm.
or maybe they cannot do anything about it. But where are you going to put all these children? Who is gonna feed them?
Yeah, right. And also there are children beggars here as well, same like you're talking about. Yeah, well, yeah, what are you going to do with them? Um, yeah, it's very sad. It's very sad when you see like two obviously little kids who are probably brothers or brother and sister and they're sleeping on a piece of cardboard. You know what I mean? Very sad.
Hmm.
Um, anyway, yeah, as far as I know, there are no child labor laws in the Philippines. They're all over the place, selling flowers, sampaguita, very very wonderful smelling flowers. You see kids doing that all the time. Personally, I always there's also adults. They're in competition with adults doing the same thing, which makes it funny. I always give my money to the kids. Here you go. And yeah, and you're right. There's a problem here with disappearances of children. Definitely happens here. The rumor here, I don't really know, but there are rumors here that children are abducted for body to harvest organs, body parts. But I don't really get that. How could that be? Because why? You know, wouldn't an adult need an adult size liver or whatever? I don't really understand that the line of thinking there. I
Yeah,
don't get.
that's something similar. It's going on here in Mexico. They say that they abduct children and take their livers and kidneys and stuff like that.
But why? I don't get
That
that.
I don't know. Maybe there are children somewhere that are that their parents have a lot of money and they just need a liver or something just for replacement,
Oh well, okay.
just a spare part.
Wow. Now that's a job you not
Yeah.
want children to.
Sorry. No.
No. Yeah, I don't know. It's sad actually. Okay, but okay. So what should what can be done when all these little kids running around, or
Well,
should anything be done? I mean, if they do anything, are they actually starving people?
that's when when I think about it, I think actually it's a good idea to have children working, and I think that there should be some companies that should hire children so we can stop them from having to work in the street without any protection, without any
Oh,
salary. So it would be nice to have special companies that were regulated or at least supervised by the government, where they can have a good standard of working environment, where they can actually get some money, provide money to their families who are obviously in extreme poorness, and it will actually boost the economy.
that is an interesting idea I have not heard before, Julio. That's very interesting. Okay. I like that. What could we have them do? That's a great idea. Rather than have them in dangerous situations and dangerous places, at dangerous times. Frankly, they're out there in the middle of the night.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Have them work at 9 to 5. What could we put them to work doing? What are we gonna have these kids do?
Well, they
Building.
can they can do what they are doing now. I mean, they can retail in the streets, but being supervised by someone who actually takes them and be supervising them, maybe selling cookies or flowers or doing some handcrafting.
Okay, well, I,
Uh,
I think they have such tiny little hands. We should have them doing sophisticated electronics work, soldering and. Really, the quality of the work can't be any worse than Chinese. Why not?
No,
Did
that's
I?
a good idea. Yeah.
Oh, well, what the heck? I mean, you can't have them do anything dangerous at all whatsoever. That's the whole point. Is you're trying to take them out of danger. Actually, that's a very interesting point. Hmm.
Talking about dangerous things, there is a nuclear plant here in my town. There are only like two nuclear plants in Mexico, and one is in my town. And there's a urban legend that somewhere around in the 70s, uh, it was very expensive for the nuclear company to hire especially trained people to clean the reactors.
Mm-hmm.
So especially because they needed to have special equipment to go into the reactor and not getting radiation and dying
Mm-hmm.
from cancer later on. So they just the rumor says that they hire just people from the countryside, like indigenous people, and they just gave them brooms and soap, and they they went to the reactor and they cleaned it without knowing what it was.
Oh my God. Oh Lordy.
And then they just paid them like, but for them it would be like a huge amount of money,
Right.
but they later on they will die of cancer. But who cares? They are just from indigenous. They don't even speak Spanish, so they just needed to get in and do the job, and that's it. So
Wow. Well,
that's a
that's wrong.
terrible urban legend.
It
Yeah,
is.
that's sort of wrong. I don't even know if that's true. It's just a legend.
Yeah. It related to that, actually, something I never thought of before. I had a student at one point. He was actually not the captain, but the navigator aboard those ginormous, those huge oil tankers or chemical tankers. They,
Mm-hmm.
he used to sail those enormous ships that you see. So he did different ones, cargo ship, oil tanker, chemical tanker, and he told me some great stories actually. Somali pirates and all kinds of stuff. He had great stories. But anyway, one thing he told me about was the guys who have to clean the chemical tankers. They have to obviously they can't you can't mix chemicals. So you go to one port and you unload some kind of acid. You can't fill up with just say okay, good enough, and then fill up with some kind of you know
uh,
kind of a base chemical solution. You have a ginormous explosion. Uh, so they would have to be very, very thoroughly technically cleaned. And these guys were always dying.
oh,
They would be overwhelmed, suffocate. It was just, yeah, the way he described it, it's like you have
so,
basically it's a job with 50% chance every time you do the job.
so they were dying like inside the tanks or just
Yeah,
later on?
both, but I often right on the job, right there. Unbelievable. And basically, according to him, it was basically a 50-50 proposition if you were going to live or not. How would you like that job? They paid very well, apparently. But they
Uh,
could only find idiots to do the work. Wow, I wonder why. Oh, seriously.
well,
So that was the problem. They do stupid things.
yeah, that sounds very similar to the nuclear reactor thing. So I guess that
Yeah.
if there are two urban legends that sound very alike, probably they are true.
Probably. Yeah. Yeah, okay. All right. Back to the children. Let's talk about something else, actually.
Hmm.
In You're still talking about children, but in the United States, you've probably seen, for example, these beauty contests where they have like 4-year-old, 5-year-old, 6-year-old
Beauty
girls.
pageants, no? That's how you call it.
Beauty pageants, that's right.
Yeah, pageant.
Pageants. Junior beauty pageants. I don't know what they call them. I have never actually seen one myself, but I've heard about them. These things, okay, obviously there are child actors. We know that. That's quite obvious.
What are you talking about, Willis?
Willis? What you talking about, Willis? Yes. What is that? Is that Gary Coleman? No.
Yeah, that's Gary Coleman.
That's Gary Coleman? It is. All right.
Yeah.
What happened to Gary Coleman?
Well, apparently he never grew up. He's like a strange midget.
He never grew up. Oh my God. And that's just weird. Okay, since you brought up Gary Coleman, there's numerous other examples where these kids, child actors, grow up to be very much socially, what can I
Parias.
say? What's that?
Parias. Parias, is that a word?
Pariah,
Maybe?
social, okay.
Parias. We have
Pariah.
parias. Pariah.
Well, not really a pariah, although possibly, but definitely social misfits, I guess, is what I was looking for. They have a lot of problems getting over this. Same with these little beauty pageant queens, and uh, there's there are in general there seems to be a lot of problems with these kids who are pushed to be child actors, beauty models, things like that. What are your thoughts on this? Is it okay for child acting? Would you put your child in a whatever TV program or something like that?
Yeah, why not? I mean, I wish I could have been a child actor.
Yeah,
And
really? Okay.
I wish I could have made tons of money and now just been living with the money that I did when I was cute. But
Okay.
apparently I wasn't cute enough for being a child actor.
Uh-huh.
And but well, I don't see any problem. I don't even think that they see that as work. I think they just see it as if it were a game, and they
Okay.
make tons of money out of it. And at the end, they are not forced to do that, I think, or I want to think that.
Well, I guess that there we go. That's the debate. That's the question. Are they forced to do it, or is it are they doing it of their own volition? Okay, their own choice. I guess that is the big question.
That
Uh,
there is something even more creepy.
really?
Uh, yeah, I was well, I did a research when I was in college about child pornography. Well, I'm not gonna go into that, but there are many, and I say tons of websites of children aging from 6 to 12 or 13, 14 years old that they taking or parents or a photographic studio or something take uh, pictures of them with very provocative clothing, and they sell. They have these websites where you can sign in and pay a monthly fee just to be receiving photos of these kids. And it
Wow.
seems that it's completely legal because they are
Really?
not performing any sexual activity and they try to disguise it like modeling. And I
Creepy.
think that's creepy, and I think what are
Oh,
the parents thinking?
I think that's excessively creepy. Yeah, that's just weird. Ugh. Yeah, if they're doing that, it seems like the next obvious step. I don't know. I don't know if I was some kind of I don't know, vice, some kind of government, police commission or something. I'd be looking at these people and these subscribers very, very carefully.
Yeah, and since I
It's just weird.
discovered that, I've been like wondering myself, is it right or wrong? Because apparently it seems wrong because it's very suggestive.
Yeah,
But they seem to be in this legal loop and not
loophole.
loophole. Oh,
Yeah.
can you write it down, please,
Hmm.
for me? In
Sure.
this legal loophole, and if you think about it, I mean, technically they are not doing anything illegal. They are just modeling clothes. They are modeling underwear and stuff like that. So I mean, that's
Really,
disturbing for me.
that's
But
disturbing for me.
yeah, but at the end, I guess it's all in the viewer's eyes. And what are you looking at? Obviously,
Yeah, it's weird.
most of the subscribers are perverts. I'm pretty sure about that. But where's the line between
Yeah.
modeling, art, and
Well,
pornography? And apparently, the line is this the sexual uh, performance or the perform any sexual activity, but even showing your
hmm.
kid in underwear, that has to ring a bell somewhere.
Yeah. Okay. Right. All right. Okay. That has to set off an alarm somewhere. It seems like it would. Mm. Yeah, I even find it disturbing, the whole beauty contest thing. I find that disturbing when they take like a 4-year-old or a 5-year-old and they put all the makeup on her and the lipstick and dress her up in obviously adult clothing with adult themes and obviously all the makeup and an adult hairstyle. I find that disturbing, actually. What you're telling me about is just freaky. I actually find that weird.
Yeah, it's
I don't get it. Um, the
um,
thing, those beauty contest things, though. I mean, who's involved in that? It seems to be, other than the little girls, it's their mothers, and that's it.
yeah, I
You know.
think they are trying to fulfill um, maybe the things they didn't accomplish. I was looking for a word particularly for that. They're for when you unaccomplish something or unaccomplish dreams. How can you say that?
Uh, okay. When you when you want to accomplish dreams.
No,
I'm
when
sorry.
you feel frustrated because you didn't accomplish your own
Uh,
dreams
oh, you're
of
talking
being
about the
good.
mothers. Okay.
Yeah, about the mothers.
Okay. I don't know. Frustrated, unfulfilled. I don't know. There's another
Yeah,
word
I
I
don't
can't
really
think of.
find a reason why to do that. I mean, but Americans, they are really obsessed with looks, and
Yeah.
Actually, I think they think that the most important thing for someone is to just look great,
Hmm.
and they pay a lot of attention to that. They spend tons of money in surgery and
Yeah.
dieting and cosmetics.
And that's fair enough. I'm not going to deny it, but I definitely, in some places more than others. In California, very much so. I'm from the Northeast. When I went to California, I couldn't believe how superficial people were. It was like ridiculous. It was the only people I could have an actual meaningful conversation, a debate, a discussion about economics or politics or religion or anything philosophy, any sort of meaning, were people that were also from the Northeast. Trying to talk to somebody from California about anything with any importance whatsoever, forget it. It's just pointless. They won't even be able to follow you. It's ridiculous. Very strange, honestly. You know,
Yeah,
not that they're not nice people. They are beautiful people, physically. You're just very shallow, honestly. And of course, I'm generalizing, but really, it's a stereotype I think kind of fits.
but how could it be that just in a specific location, all the people behave in a similar way? How? I mean, is that the influence of everyone else? Is it the society in that particular place? It's just that they
Yeah,
are
well, you,
mimicking what they see?
I say California, but really I shouldn't. I should say Southern California, San Diego and Los Angeles, mostly Los Angeles. And why in this case? It's simple. Hollywood. So people go Hollywood. It's all about appearance. I mean, that's what Hollywood is. It's not real. So
Hmm. Hmm.
I think that's a large part of it. I mean, think about it. All these people go to Hollywood, and their only concern is to somehow get into the movies, writing, acting, whatever. They think they're going to make a lot of money by getting into the movies, and of course, 9 out of 10 fail to do that. But that's all they're concerned about is their 8 by 10 glossy photograph and and
Yeah,
how
they
they
all have
appear.
their.
That's their whole. How you appear is basically that's about it.
Yeah, that's why I think that that job being an actor or an actress is completely overrated, and especially in movies.
Mm.
So, but I guess it's an easy way. If you have the looks, it's an easy way to become rich.
Yeah, well, there you go. If you have
Maybe
the
we are
look,
just jealous.
maybe, maybe that very well could be,
Yeah.
definitely. Uh, but getting back to children, I don't know if I would want. I'm definitely. There's no way my kids are ever going to do any of that modeling stuff. No chance. That's just 100% no. Uh, Acting, I don't know. Kind of torn on that one. Why do you think so many child actors end up being freaks when they get older? Drug addicts, they have problems with alcohol, they have social problems, they get arrested. Lindsay Lohan. Oh, yeah.
Well, I'm not sure if all of them. I'm pretty sure not. But I think
Okay,
we
good
just
point.
pay our attention to those ones that actually
Okay.
do happen to go in the wrong direction because it's like how do you say morbosely morbosity as an adverb,
Morbidly.
morbidly.
It's morbid curiosity, whatever.
Yeah, morbid curiosity. Like we are just well, at
Okay.
least I felt that way. You see this cute little fellow with blonde hair, nice features, making tons of money, doing nothing and just becoming extremely famous. You just want to see him fail.
Oh my. Or the I hear you. Or the child actor who has the same line in every TV show. What you
Yeah.
talk about, Willis? Shut up, kid. Fall off the
What
chair.
happened to Macaulay Culkin anyway?
What happened to Macaulay Culkin? Yeah, what happens to these people? I have no idea. It's always shocking to see them again when they're older. It's like, no way. That's who you are? I'm always very surprised. No, it's some other person claiming to be.
I was watching an interview the other day. They were interviewing this guy that made the Star Wars Episode One movie. I
Uh-huh.
don't know if you, and that little boy was huge back then. I mean, everybody predicted a
Uh,
great career for him because he was cute and he was a good actor. And I just saw him in a Comic Con convention interview, and that guy completely turned out to be a freak. Now he just spends most of his time playing video games, and he feels completely annoyed when somebody asks him or says anything about Star Wars to him.
I'm
So
sure. I'm sure he's heard it 10 million times. Yeah, I could understand that actually. Hello, Michael. How are you?
Hi, Oakley. I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm okay. We're kind of talking about children in the workplace. Right now, we're talking about child actors and like that. Julio made a good point. We only hear about the ones that end up destroying their lives, but I don't know. Maybe some go on to be successful. Are there child actors in your country? Do
Yeah,
children
but
work? Yeah.
yeah, as actor, yes, of course, they work. They have some famous actors, like relatively famous. I mean, and for children, they are famous. But I'm not really. I don't really watch movies or something with them nowadays.
hmm Well, what do you think? What do you think about children working overall? Should it be allowed? How old they should be? Should they be? What are your thoughts
As
on
actors
children working?
or as
No,
other.
as others. We're getting near the end of class anyway.
Well, I think working in physically, like hard work, I think they shouldn't be allowed to work. However, when I was when I was a child, like when I was, so it was like in, let me tell you, I was in school, I think. No, I was in high school. So I was like, I wasn't 18 years old. I was like 16 years or 15 years old.
hmm
So I worked when you make holes in the ground. What was that? With
Pointless.
what?
That's
What?
called pointless.
No, seriously.
uh, holes in the, why are you making holes in the ground? To bury bodies or to sink telephone poles or to
Uh,
dig a sewer or dig
to
fence
put
posts?
so I worked like in a company that um, electricity
Ah,
electricity cord to put
okay.
under the ground, and you need to
Okay.
make like not a hole, but
Got it.
I don't know the name in English. A long like line
That is
in
called.
ground, 1 meter, one
hmm
meter something in deep, like
You're digging a trench
yeah,
or
trench,
a ditch.
a trench, I think.
Yeah, that's right.
And with what do you do that? What is the name of that tool usually?
Shovel.
Yeah, shovel. So I worked that in a company like, and I made like good money for me. So and I was like 15 years old, and for me was like a lot of money. Like they paid for per meter, and there like was working a friend of mine who was in my in class with me. So his father owned that company. So what can I tell you? I wasn't like I feeling that I'm in some way offended by them, or in some way I'm exploited
Exploited.
by
There you go.
exploited uh, by grown by adults or something. I
Right.
felt on cloud nine that I can provide that kind of work, and they paid per meter good money, like per meter. So it was all honest. Like they counted how many meters um, did they make, or what did they make? How many
What?
meters? When you say how many meters did you what?
Did you dig? I don't know.
Yeah, did they dig? So digged, and they paid, and I can tell you that this is kind of was a good experience for me. But I was like 15 years old or 14 at least, so I think this is a good thing to work when you are a child, like when you are in this way, just trained. You are training, like you are trained to be to I don't know, to be hard work person or something.
Yeah, okay. To be hardworking, diligent,
Yeah, yeah.
right?
This is my experience.
Responsible.
I can tell you that nowadays I remember that with uh, bad mood or something. I was like a lot of fun to do that.
Yeah, I'm with you. I was also working when I was 14, 15, and it was great. Actually, because I didn't really care because I was young and stupid. It was actually maybe the funnest time of my working career. We just kind of felt more like playing than working. I can relate. By the way, just because you're getting a lot of vocabulary there. All right, you're digging a trench. So it depends what you're digging the trench for. You can say you don't have to. Okay, we were digging a trench, and there's different reasons you dig trenches or ditches. Maybe you're laying cable, you're putting in cable like wires, like you're
Okay.
talking about, laying cable, laying gas line, laying a sewer line. When it's pipes or tubes, we usually say a line. Okay. Um, well, actually, even electrical line. We're laying electrical line. That's so you're putting it in the trench. You're laying it in there. That's the verb you use. But
Okay.
yeah, okay. All right.
But for example, if children they don't want to work in some way because it was voluntary, my work. Like
Right.
I wanted to work very much.
Right.
But if the children don't want to work, so they shouldn't be obliged to do that in this way. For example, if they cannot dig something. A hole or to dig a trench or something, they shouldn't be obliged. So this is, I think, the difference.
Mm-hmm. Right. Right.
And
You are.
also, if they are
Okay.
not capable, like I mean, if they are 10 years old, I think for them it's kind of hard to do that at that moment. So
Right. Well, obviously, if they're not capable, pretty much the market's going to take care of itself, and they're never going to get that job. But okay, yes, there's definitely a line that's crossed. Do the children have to do it, or they do it because they want to do it? They want to earn extra money. I mean, there's the difference. Um, and as well, and actually just regular work, or even these child actor kids, whatever, or beauty contestants, if they don't want to do it, I suppose that becomes very obvious. They start screaming in the audition. They're never going to get the job, and I guess the market will take care of itself there, I suppose, in reality. Um, but what about the children who are out on the street begging or selling gum? Julio had the great idea, which I still love. I really like this. Never heard it before. You should have a company that hires children, but in a safe, supervised environment to do some kind of safe activity to earn money as an alternative to be out on the streets late at night selling gum and peanuts or whatever. What do you think of that, Michael?
Well, I think children on the streets, they shouldn't be on the streets where it's dangerous maybe for them or something, or to sell with money. I don't know, they could, but I don't know how they are proficient. Maybe some guy can steal from them something or do something wrong, like take the money or something. So they should make like some kind of labor that they are fully capable. I don't know what kind of job like could be like that to entertain.
Capable, meaning they are able to do. The children are capable.
Yeah, but capable in so it could be safe for them, for children. I mean, 100%, not like you go on the street and you sell something.
Right.
Well, it's safe, but what?
Capable has more to do with your idea of a 10-year-old digging a ditch. Is he even capable? Can he even physically do it?
Oh, okay, physically.
Could be physically, could be mentally. Are you physically and mentally able to do it? Right. But
okay, but about like if to make a company to have a company that will supervise them, okay, it's okay, but they should approach by themselves children, not that company to seek them to ask them, do you want to work or something. So they should, if they want to work, they should go and ask for work, and should be really easy work, some kind of really easy work.
And safe. But
Yeah,
I think as an alternative to work in the streets, scamming on the streets, not bad. And personally, I think it should be something in conjunction with the government or a government agency or something. Some kind of direct government control. Just in my opinion. Something. I don't know. Anyway, it is noon where I am. Wow, look at that. Time for my lunch. And we're out of time, so thank you very much, Julio. Thanks for stopping in, Michael. Sorry, guys, but my time is up, and I have to go. So, thanks.
Okay. Don't push hard on your children.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.